favourite on the Silverstone Armstrong. That's the best bike in the race, I would say.
This is a push start, 15 laps ahead of the field. They're called under starters orders. They're looking for the signal to start. Away they go. And it's Donny McLeod, number 2. A good start from Donny McLeod. But Jeff Fowler, number 19, right down at the tail end of the field. Donny McLeod, number 2, is the race leader. The pack round at Gerrard's for the first time. A hectic moment, and the Gerrard's certainly a little bit bumpier than it has been in the past. Kevin Mitchell in second place with the John Davis Honda in second spot. Donny McLeod from Kevin Mitchell. That looks like Andy Watts in third place.
I think Ian Newton's up to fourth on the second of the Silverstone Armstrongs.
And Ian Newton is really a man to keep an eye on. He's got Neil Mackenzie's carbon fibre frame Silverstone Armstrong, not just for this race, but for some of the early Grand Prix. It'll be really interesting to see how he goes.
And Alan Carter already up into fifth place on the Spanish-built Cobas.
Down through Devil's Elbow for the first time. Very, very fast indeed. To Donny McLeod, the race leader. Kevin Mitchell from up in Lancashire. McLeod, the Scotsman, leading the Lancastrian Kevin Mitchell. The pack round Gerrard's, back over to the absolute limit. And Kevin Mitchell is not allowing Donny McLeod to get away. McLeod on the factory Silverstone Armstrong. Kevin Mitchell, who is going to do the European Championship. He's had a fine start to the competition. And Kevin, who's very sharp. The only thing that's going to stop young Kevin, I think, is lack of money. And if he can put on a good performance today, that will certainly do his chances a lot of good through the chicane for the second time. McLeod, the leader, and watching this race at the moment with a lot of interest is Neil Mackenzie. Mackenzie, who's injured, of course, at the moment, and he'll be watching in his hospital bed with a great deal of interest, seeing how Donny McLeod, his teammate, and Ian Newton, the new boy in the Silverstone Armstrong squad, can go. So it's Donny McLeod, the leader. Kevin Mitchell in second place. In third spot is number 28, Nigel Bosworth, with a Kirchner Marketing Yamaha, his new bike for this year. In fourth spot is number 56, so that's Ian Newton on the second Silverstone Armstrong machine. Fifth is number 3, Alan Carter on the Cobas. And a change in the lead. Kevin Mitchell goes through. Mitchell takes the lead, and McLeod is forced to take second place.
A great piece of riding from Mitchell on the brakes there. He had it all weighed up. He got a good drive up to the hairpin, and very late came up the inside of McLeod.
Well, and McLeod has regained the lead. Yes, Kevin Mitchell was going to try and bravely hold him off, but the Silverstone Armstrong is a very quick motorcycle. And McLeod used the pace, and look at Mitchell hanging off that bike in the slipstream of the Silverstone Armstrong, and Mitchell is ready to have another go to regain the lead. Kevin Mitchell having a fine ride. McLeod, number 2, and this is where Mitchell had him last time, and is he going to do it again? No, he's not. And maybe he is this time. McLeod had to come very sharply across the bows of Mitchell.
And that's Ian Newton up into third place, so it's going to be 2 Silverstone Armstrongs at the front any moment.
Oh, what a fine ride from Ian Newton from Skelmersdale, drafted in late this week into the Silverstone Armstrong squad, riding Neil Mackenzie's machine, and the rest of the pack storming through.
I just noticed Carl Fogarty down there in about 10th place. He had to come off the back row of the grid. He's been on great form recently, but he had to run in new cylinders in practice, so he was a slow starter. But that's Mackenzie pulling out a little bit of minor advantage from Mitchell at the moment. McLeod in front on the Silverstone Armstrong.
McLeod under a lot of pressure from Kevin Mitchell, the privateer, giving the factory man very much a run for his money. And McLeod and Mitchell down through Devil's Elbow. There is third place man, number 56, Ian Newton. Then Nigel Bosworth having a fine ride, number 7, Andy Watts. Number 3, Alan Carter. There's number 20, Tony Head. Number 10, that's Darren Dixon, the young man from down in Canterbury. Talented young man. Back with the leaders, and Mitchell will not be shaken off. Kevin Mitchell riding superbly on the John Davis machine.
And this is a crucial test for McLeod and the Armstrong, because the bike they're up against, the bike that Kevin Mitchell is riding, is only a standard production 250 Yamaha that anyone can buy, and there will be many of these machines and much faster examples at the Grand Prix, and McLeod really must be able to see off Mitchell if they're going to go into the World Championship season with a chance of winning races.
And of course a test for this man, number 56, Ian Duke, Nigel Bosworth, Andy Watts, Alan Carter, number 3, Gary Cowan from Northern Ireland going well there in that group. Back with the battle for the lead, and McLeod still being harassed and chased by young Kevin Mitchell. And I'm sure Neil Mackenzie, with that broken leg, who's there at the Rowley Bristow Hospital down in Weybridge, where the surgeon, Mr. Hadfield, will be having an operation tomorrow. It should have been today, but in fact they delayed it today so that Neil could lie in his bed and watch this race. So get well soon, Neil. As Donny McLeod, his teammate, tries to hold off Kevin Mitchell, and what a great ride it is for Mitchell.
Yes, it's absolutely superb performance from Mitchell against the two Silverstone Armstrongs. The Armstrongs are using this as something of a test session prior to their Grand Prix, which starts in Spain in 2 weeks' time. But McLeod, they're still holding on to advantage. Beautifully smooth riding on the very, very ultralight carbon fibre framed machine, all built in Britain, the cycle parts. The engine comes from Austria.
And the leader's lapping just under 53 seconds, 52.9. Not a lot of difference between 250s and 500s, in fact, around the Mallory Park circuit. And the gap between Kevin Mitchell in second place and third place man Ian Newton is 2.7 seconds. And both Carl Fogarty and Phil Mellor have retired into the pits. Well, I'm sure Carl will want to get the bike sorted out for the final round of the 250 Motor Prix Series here at Mallory tomorrow. McLeod, meantime, leads Kevin Mitchell, and Mitchell is obviously trying to gauge wherever McLeod might have a weakness.
Yes, it's a very intelligent ride from Mitchell. He tried once to pass McLeod, couldn't get away from him, and now he's probing, he's sitting right on the back of the Silverstone Armstrong, looking at what McLeod is doing and seeing where he might be able to get through.
So 8 laps completed then. Donny McLeod in the lead, Kevin Mitchell in second place, third is Ian Newton, fourth is Nigel Bosworth, fifth Andy Watts, sixth is Alan Carter, seventh is 31 Gary Cowan, and in 8th place Kevin Maudsley. So 3 of the Silverstone Armstrong riders in the top 8, and that's a good ride from Kevin Maudsley. Nicknamed the Angry Gerbil is young Kevin. Like Newton, a new name in the Silverstone Armstrong team, as McLeod and Mitchell pass some slower men. No changes. There's number 28, Nigel Bosworth. What a good ride he's having too. And there is Gary Knoll, number 5. Well, he's got a lot of work to do to catch up and close with these people.
And one thing that McLeod and the Armstrong team will be pleased about is that they've managed to get well clear of Alan Carter, because Carter on the Spanish-framed Cobas will be one of their main competitors at the Grand Prix, and he doesn't seem to be able to keep with them at the moment.
There is the second place man, and he's lost a bit of ground on Donny McLeod, but that doesn't really matter. Kevin Mitchell, one of Britain's great hopes in this year's 250cc European Championship, is doing very well indeed to stay behind Donny McLeod and ahead of Ian Newton. 10 laps completed, 5 more laps to go. 1.5 seconds the gap. And there is Alan Carter. He's in 6th place at the moment. And really, I wouldn't think Alan Carter will be too pleased with this, Peter.
No, he complained at the last couple of races that the engine in the Cobas, which is ostensibly the same engine that's in McLeod's Silverstone Armstrong, they're both Austrian-built Rotaxes, that this engine wasn't very good. Although the bike was working quite well, they've still got a lot of horsepower to find, and that seems to be the case as we watch Carter on the brightly coloured machine here. He's going to have to find an extra pace if he's going to be competitive at the Grand Prix.
Well, it's indeed Alan Carter just ahead of that particular group, and certainly Gary Knoll, I'm sure, on bike number 5 there on Dr. Joe Ehrlich's EBC. Gary Knoll, who will be going to Spain like Alan Carter for the opening round of the World Championship in 2 weeks' time. I should think Gary Knoll would like this bike to be going a bit better.
Yes, again, it's all testing themselves against McLeod's Armstrong, and that's McLeod way out in front now. And if you think that Britain doesn't have any sort of motorcycle industry anymore, I can tell you that Armstrong now produces about 2,500 motorcycles a year. They produce several thousand bikes for armies of various countries, including the British, the Jordanians and the Canadians. So we really have sort of the resurgence of a motorcycle industry up in Bolton.
Kevin Mitchell in second place, chasing and losing out in the battle with Donny McLeod. McLeod now opening up a bit of a lead, but so he should, in fact. McLeod, a talented, experienced rider on the back to the machine. Kevin Mitchell going so well in second place. There goes Ian Newton on the Silverstone Armstrong machine for the first time, and Andy Watts right with Nigel Bosworth. And it's getting fairly desperate behind, and I don't think Alan Carter can necessarily hold on to 6th place for a lot longer.
No, he's under a great deal of pressure, and he's obviously not happy with the way the bike is performing. And Alan's one of these people who really has to feel that everything's working well to produce his best performance.
And Donny McLeod, having stretched a gap of 1.5 seconds to 3.6 seconds in just a couple of laps, appears to have this one very much in the bag.
Yes, a very, very mature performance from McLeod, because when he came under tremendous pressure from Mitchell early on, he fought back strongly, disposed of the challenge, and now really has a clear road to the finish.
2 laps completed. Well, Donny McLeod was at Thruxton last week, and he wasn't too happy in the wet, and one of the problems there was that the EBC brake pads that he got in weren't working very well in the wet at all. Well, no problems with the brakes this time, Peter.
No, he certainly seems to be working well. The twin discs on the front of the Silverstone Armstrong, you can see it's standing on its nose going into the S's, and then of course he sweeps up the hill here before he brakes only to about 30 miles an hour from about 100 miles an hour. Really hard on the brakes now, the back end almost up in the air in first gear before he sweeps out, accelerates, nearly lifts the front before flicking it left and right through the very tricky chicane, and then up through the gearbox over the start and finish.
Donny McLeod then sweeping round to start his last lap. Less than a minute then between McLeod and the checkered flag. McLeod, who's been one of Britain's top riders for a long time on the Grand Prix trail and in Britain. Very fit indeed. He started doing a lot of physical exercise for the very first time in his career.
And you can see that huge front mudguard. That isn't to keep water from spraying up, really. That is to make the airflow into the radiator and around the front tyre a lot smoother, to keep the engine running cooler.
And up into 4th place now goes Andy Watts. And that really is an excellent ride from Andy Watts. He makes a habit of making bad starts, but Watts now, having charged through down in 8th place at the start of the race, is up to 4th position now through the chicane. Donny McLeod coming round to take the checkered flag, and it's McLeod who's going to win. Acknowledges the checkered flag. In 2nd place will be Kevin Mitchell, and what a good ride it is for the boy on the John Davis cars Yamaha. 3rd home Ian Newton, 4th there number 7 Andy Watts, 5th Nigel Bosworth. A good ride for 22-year-old Nigel Bosworth, another local man from Stoke Golding. And here's the charge, and Alan Carter lost a place. He lost one more place there to Kevin Maudsley. Well, when Kevin Maudsley starts beating you, things are really going badly. And Donny McLeod acknowledges the cheers from the crowd, and I'm sure that will be a victory that will encourage him and the team manager Chas Mortimer, and I'm sure it will do a lot of good to Neil Mackenzie watching back home. There is the result. Donny McLeod the winner, 2nd Kevin Mitchell, 3rd Ian Newton. So a good ride, a good start to this weekend's meeting for Donny McLeod, who want to do well in the Motor Prix tomorrow, and a good ride too from Kevin Mitchell. But of course